a anti-Florida sentiment. Yes, a anti-Florida bias. Here's an example. They're down here, and they covered their teams in spring training. But granted, let's face the facts. Most of the Florida teams are relatively new to baseball. You have the Tampa Bay Rays, and you have the Miami Marlins. You know, these teams don't have big tradition. They came way, way late after baseball was way established. And now you do have a lot of individuals who live in Florida who have followed other teams. And you say, well, yeah, you know, the Tampa Bay Rays, they don't have a large crowds every day after the season. They don't have a large fan base. Same thing with Miami Marlins. But listen to this, and I hope this does not happen again. It seems to me that David Price of the Tampa Bay Rays, one of the best pitchers in baseball today, possibly might get robbed again of winning the Cy Young Award. Now, if you go back in 2010, David Price had a record of 19-6 with an ERA of 2.72, and he loses the Cy Young. He loses the Cy Young Award to Felix Hernandez, who was only 13-2 and had a 2.27 ERA. That's a farce. I don't care about the ERA. 13-12. Why was he even voted the Cy Young winner being 13-12? If baseball writers and fans would remember that Steve Carlton, with a Philadelphia team that barely won, I think they might have won like 57 or 60 games, I'm not sure, but they lost a lot more games than they won. They had over 100 losses. Steve Carlton won over 20 games that year. So a good pitcher, a great pitcher, can still have a decent record. Now, this year, David Price finished with a record of 20-6. And this time, he leads the AL with an ERA, I believe, of 2.56. He's number one. Felix Hernandez was number one in 2010 and was only 13-12. David Price is tied with the league in wins with 20 and number one in ERA at 2.56. Now, if this guy does not win the Cy Young Award, every Florida native who cares about baseball should petition. Right, do whatever it takes. But this great pitcher should not be robbed again just because he pitches for the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll be back soon, and we will tell you a big story that's been brewing regarding Tim Tebow.